Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Zoms here, and welcome back into another Fragpunk video. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over 10 shard card ideas here in Fragpunk. And with me loving Fragpunk the past couple of weeks, and me even playing ranked, there's a lot of cards that I've had in mind. Now, this video is probably going to be more of the basic cards, right? The typical cards, but there's some cool little cards here, and one of them is by a different guy that actually went into the competition. And some of these are my own. Some of these are also from the Fragpunk competition. And some of them are from GG Lounge. But if there's anything that is not mine, I will credit them. Alright, and if it just so happens that one of my own creations actually is someone else's, please DM me and I will put credits in the description or in the comment section below. If you guys have any other Fragpunk shard card ideas or Fragpunk video ideas, please leave them in the description. Not in the description. If you guys have any Fragpunk content ideas or any shard card ideas, please leave them in the comments down below. Go follow my socials right here, and the Discord is linked down below. But other than that, boys, let's get in here with the first card, which is headshots only, where enemies can only get hit in the head. All right, this is obviously going to be like a 5-point card. All right, and it can be on both sides. I think this would change the game a lot and have a lot more skill attached to the game, right? Where if you just choose this card, well, good luck with the body shots. You're going to want the snipers, you're going to want the ARs, right? You're aiming for the head, and I think pretty much if you have headshots only, you pretty much win the round. All right, unless you're in the higher elos and the higher ranks. This would definitely be good for a low elo and really anywhere, because a lot of times you're hitting body shots, and I think this will be a really crucial card to have on both offense and defense. Now, coming into the second card that I have here in mind is snipers only, where the enemies can only use snipers. Now, you can also put it in a way where both teams can only use snipers, but you know, for this card idea, when I first came up with it, it was only the enemies can use snipers. So you could take that as you will, but it would be a really cool idea. Even if it is just both teams have to only use snipers, it would be a really cool idea to have a sniper only battle, right? It won't cost any of your tokens or shards or whatever for what the weapon economy. It would just, you get a sniper and that's all you need, right? So overall, this will be more of one of the fun cards in the game, I believe. Because a lot of people will try to do trick shots and everything like that. I mean, some of them will just hard peek some angles and everything like that, making it not too fun, but that's okay, right? It still pretty much be fun, right? Now, this next one that I have here, though, is going to be really annoying for the attackers here. And this one is no converter, where the attackers have no converter. Now, this will mean the defender side is just going to have to play hide and seek for the entire round. Now, this one would be broken, right? But just imagine if you had a card that can eliminate the entire converter. That would just be absolutely crazy, right? Because, I mean, there's no converter. You're gonna have to just play hide and seek with the defending team, right? You're gonna have to be seeking as the attackers. All right, so nothing too much there, but besides, maybe it's too broken. Maybe it's just a little too broken. But this next card also counteracts with that, with fake converters for the attacker side, where once you plant the converter, there will be multiple converters on the ground that, you know, that could be fake or that they can be real, right? They're all beeping, right? The beep is going to come from the middle of the site. So you don't know which converter it is. So it could be like maybe 5, it could be 3, it could be 2, right? Fake converters. Right, or it can even just be another converter that's fake, just one. So there's 2 converters planted, right? So that would be kind of fun, but also really annoying for the defenders. But if you're able to choose no converter, well, then this will counteract with that annoyance on the other side of the match. Now, this one is actually from the competition. This is from Ashman in Fragpunk. And this is reverse recoil, where the enemy's recoil is inverted. So instead of it going up whenever you shoot, it goes down. All right, so that would be really cool and really funny to watch people just try to shoot, but they just keep aiming down, right? And maybe crosshair placement might be a bit different, right? But that would be a really fun card to have and really annoying to have a competitive. But it's one of those where it's like an actual realistic card, probably out of all of these, maybe besides Fake Converter and Headshots Only, right? And having a reverse recoil would also mean you might not want to have anything that's automatic. You might want to have a marksman rifle, you might want to have a sniper, maybe even a shotgun, right? So it's going to have to make you think on what guns you actually want to use, just like Headshots Only. Now this one I had a little bit of trouble trying to create here, but this one is called Intoxicated. Obviously the game could switch it up every now and again, or like switch it up to be more, I guess, related to the audience, right? But the enemy screens are colorful and swirly, and it's like you're drunk, right? So maybe you're not seeing things correctly and everything like that. And it's one of those where the enemies are not gonna have a fun time, right? But you will definitely have a fun time seeing them just shoot and miss. But I mean, if someone gets a very, very impressive shot with that card, well, send me a clip if it ever gets put into the game. Other than that, not much to really say about this card. I just think it's a really good idea to have maybe something that disrupts your vision, right? I mean, we have a couple of cards, I believe, in the game that can do that, but I don't think we have a whole lot. Moving on to the 7th card that I have here today, though. This is smaller sites, where each bomb site just gets smaller. Now, I don't have an exact percentage, but let's just say if a site is like normal, right? And then you activate this card on the defender side, you can, like, the sites would just get smaller, right? Make them smaller so that way it's harder for the attackers, and the attackers have a smaller space to plant, right? And you can kind of control where they can plant in a way if you if the card gives you the right amount of space and exactly where, right? So, you know, this is actually somewhat of a realistic one. I believe GG Lounge made a similar card where it's in the short part of the site, where it's like a short is where the bomb site is, and has the defenders having one hell of a time defending, right? But smaller sites is a pretty realistic card, and honestly, I think it would be really cool to have it in the game. But I think, yeah, I do think this will be coming into the game, though, to be honest with you. And now we got the explosive knife. I had a lot of fun trying to make this card here, and just having the idea of it. But this is when your melee is charged, so your knife or your axe. The charge actually shoots out an explosive cannon, or a fireball, or just an explosive shot, or something like that. All right. It could deal self-inflicted damage, or it cannot. It's up to you. It's up to Fragpunk to decide that, right? Or it's up to you, the viewers, to have a verdict on that. All right, because it sounds insanely overpowered, where you could just keep spamming your charge, but it's kind of one of those cards, like I was saying with a couple of other of these, that this sounds pretty fun, right? Even if it's not in competitive and is inside just the standard mode or whatever, right? Or even if it's in team deathmatch, it'll be a really fun card to use, where you just keep charging up your knife or your axe and you just shoot out an explosive from your charge, right? This one I do also think is fairly realistic, because we have a bunch of cards in the game that are just insanely broken, in which I will make a tier list video about that coming up very, very shortly. And so, yeah, I mean, this is also a possible card, and I think Fragpunk could implement something like this. All right. And yeah, that's all I have to really say about card number 8. Now, card number 9, I do believe is from, it's inspired off of GG Lounge, but I will credit him for this one. And this one is Dual Round. He made a similar one where you just go straight to the duels if you're down, but you have a Sabo on you, meaning like you have maybe like 75 HP, right? So 50% of your HP gone, right, to start off each person. But this one is just Dual Round. I don't know actually what to name it. I've been sitting here for probably around 45 minutes trying to name it, but I couldn't think of a name. But the round just becomes a dual round. So you do a duels, right? But that only goes for one round, right? So if this is like example round 1, right, and you have this card, that just round 1 will be determined off of duels. So I think that would be pretty cool to add into the game. That might be hard to code, but hey, to have a duel as your round 1 or duel as in a very important round, because you know your team is mechanically skilled, but let's say, hey, these guys next shard cards are kind of painful, let's go and use this, you know. I mean, it's gonna be, you know, a very impactful card for some situations. And now the final card I have here, this one is kind of in the game in a way, but this one is called Marathon, where you run faster with your knife out. I did put down 30% faster, but you just become insanely fast when you have your knife out, right? And you don't even have to really charge up your knife for you to just go faster, right? But paired Marathon with the explosive knife or explosive melee, and then you got yourself a really fun time just going to rotate a site where you're just charging your knife, and then you have an exploding cannon while rotating sites. I think that would be really fun and really cool to have into the game if both were to be put in the game. Would this help you out as much? I would say not really. I would say this would probably be like a 2 to 3, maybe an endpoint card, right, where you put as many points into it as you want and you get faster as you put more into it. I think it'll be like that type of situation where it helps you a little bit to rotate sites, but obviously Fragpunk and Bad Guitar would have to decide that for themselves for this card. But ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of this video. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below more ideas and more shard cards, because you can even get put into the video if your shard card is pretty cool, or if it's just a decent shard card that I personally like, and I'll put it in the video and I'll credit you too. You can put them in the comments. You can go and DM me on Twitter. You can DM me on Discord, in the Discord server. I am trying to fix the Discord server up a little bit, but we're gonna get there at some point. But like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.